Hello everybody. I don't know who's going to be joining me. Hopefully a few of you, but you know, I just had to get on and say my piece. Say my piece, and share a couple things with you. What was I going to look up? I was going to look up etymology of matrix, uterus, womb, uterus, and directly from Latin matrix, genitive matrix, pregnant animal, Latin womb. Also source origin from genitive matris, mother. So the matrix is a womb. And what happens in a womb, guys? A womb is a place for child development, or baby development or fetal development. It is the place where you're put together. It's a place of completion from inception to birth, or conception to birth, or conception to inception. Whether the case is in, out, out, or in, this is the spin we're in. We are in the matrix, the womb of creation. The womb of creation is therefore the place in which the light is cultivated, right? Because the light set on fire. Light, not dark. Luminous, bright, beautiful. Radiant energy that makes things visible. Not heavy, having little actual weight. To touch down as a bird of flight. Black light, light rays beyond the visible spectrum. Okay, but you get my point. So the light is birthed in the matrix as the accumulation of the I don't know, call me a fool, but that's. Hey, what's up, Gerald? What's up, Yates? How are you, bud? Glad you could join me. So we're in the matrix, and yesterday I get my daughter wants to go to what's up, Brick? What's up, Travis? Glad you could join me, brother. Now, my kid wanted to go to the store. She wanted to go to a holiday, so I said, okay, I got to get a starter for my car. So, whatever, we go. And, hey, what's up, Maxie? How you doing, buddy? I haven't been to my dad's grave since, he died. And oddly enough, now, get this. I grew up in a house right across the street from the cemetery on Sylvan Street, on the corner of Front and Sylvan. And my dad is buried. If the house was still there, within window shot of our living room, I'd be able to look out my living room window and see my dad's grave, in the cemetery I grew up across the street from. I mean, right across the street was the cemetery. Now, that house was 947 Sylvan or 941 Sylvan. I can't remember the exact number, but it got tore down after we moved out. So we moved over to, get this of all places, on the other side of the cemetery, to 845 Agate Street. Now, Agate Street, it's a rock, right? I grew up on Agate Street as well, on the corner of Granite and Agate, and I'm a stone. Now, we moved out of that house, and they tore that house down. The two houses I spent my childhood in were both tore down and on either side of the cemetery. Now, this is the reason for my wanting to share this, because I went to that cemetery to show my daughter a few things, and this is what I have. Okay, now, the cross, I've been, stuck on the cross, and because it's been my question ever since day one, is why is the cross everywhere? What is the cross about? Why is it the best known symbol in the world. You know, why is it everywhere? Well, in its many depictions, it's in many different styles. Now, I wanted to also point out the oddities of when you take a picture and our propensity for pareidolia visions. Or are they? You know, I'll point out a couple here if I can find them again. You know, the light, and and the obelisks. I don't want to be on Bixby. Back the F off. The obelisks are everywhere in the cemetery. And a lot of cemeteries, if you know what I mean. You know, they're everywhere. Now, the obelisks, what was that? Oh, here. The obelisks are, oh yeah, and I wanted to point out this guy's name. It's Wade, but I think it's Weed. But anyway, see the obelisks, you know, the Washington Monument, the obelisks of the Egyptians. Now, they weren't obsessed with death. They were obsessed with truly living and the moment of, fulfillment for us. And right here, this is the cemetery I grew up across the street from on Sylvan Street. And yes, it does. It has piezoelectric effect. Yes, it does. Right, and that's why the King's Chamber, in the King's Chamber, the sarcophagus that lay empty with the lid off is made of granite, and the room is made of pink granite, which has a higher crystalline structure rate than regular granite. The pink granite does. Oh, here I went the wrong way. But right here, I think this is one of the pictures. Do you guys see anything in the tree right there? Do you see anything in the tree right here? Well, I see two faces. One's like right there, and it's light, and then one right on the other side of the tree. You know, I don't know if that's pareidolia or what, but there's more coming up here. Where's it at? I think there's one right here. Where's it at? But I don't know if it's the digital camera or what. What's up, MCF? How are you, sweetheart? You don't have to be sorry for anything. You're wonderful. You're wonderful, wonderful, wonderful woman. Look at this one. This is a combination of the Celtic cross, the Gordian knot, and it incorporates the 5 process. You know, because in Orion's Nebula there is a place called the Trapezium Open Star Cluster, which has 5 stars in it. You know, the 2 at the top are the binary, but this one is it's awesome because it encompasses the Gordian knot. It does the caduceus. You know, all of it. But moving on, there's my daddy. I miss him so. Yep. There's my daddy. First time I went back to his grave ever since he died, you know, was yesterday. And the craziest synchronicity happened to me right afterwards. It was just, I don't even want to explain it. Howdy, folks. And weird, I find memorial relaxing. Yes, I do. Check this out. This is a sweet statue. Imagine what it took to make that thing. But this, thanks. What's up, Paula? Here's another Celtic version of the cross. And another. Demetrius. Nobody's got a wrench anymore on my channel because I got hacked and messed with, and I don't know who it was. Well, I have a feeling who it was, but look at it. And another. This one seems to be a popular one. Hey, Joycey, how are you, sweetheart? You see the symbols next to the doors here? This guy obviously had money. What do those symbols look like to you guys? Of course, the cross is above the doorway because the good to see you. The doorway is the gate, right? And what are these about? What are those symbols? Defile. Bet you that was an awful... These are graves in the Oakland Cemetery across the street from where I grew up. I played in this cemetery daily. I climbed all of the monuments. It was my playground. That's an awesome one. Oh, here, I wanted to show you guys this one picture. Let me find it here. There's my corner of my streets, Agate Street. You know, is that ironic? I grew up on Agate. I'm a stone. There's where the house was. There's my playground. And look, doesn't that kind of remind you of the swastika? But there is the cross and the circle combined. That is you're buffering. I'm going to find this one picture. It's going to blow your guys' mind. Right here. Look at this. Do you guys see a face right here of a boy? A little boy. And then another one above it. Right here in this. Right here. Do you guys see that? I know there's faces on these graves, but I'm talking about the one in the middle here. This one. Do you see that? Is that not wild? It's freaking crazy, isn't it? Kind of spooky, actually. Yeah, I hadn't been here in 16 years. You can see a couple faces in there. It's like when you look into a fire, you know, you can take a picture of a fire, and then there's shadows of people here on the graves and shit. It's kind of weird. Look at that. That's a sweet name. Mo-her Thor. I had to take a picture of that. But look at that cross. That's awesome. I don't know. I just thought I'd share that. You know, this is a pretty cool one too. But yeah, I've been humbled so very much by, you know, first and foremost, by knowing all of you wonderful people, you know. And, you know, I'm not just saying that to blow wind up your skirt either. I'm saying that because I feel that way. I truly feel that way. And remember these guys? I wanted to get back to this real quick. What was the date right here that I was telling everybody? I don't know what's happening, but something's gonna happen right around then. You know, and I wasn't hoping something was gonna happen, but that's the cross, right? Aeon. You know, the Mithric god Aeon. Yes. But yeah, I mean, everything that culminated in the cross for me has come full circle for me since I went to see my dad. You know, I haven't been to my dad's grave, like I said, since he was buried. Now here is the stuff correlating to Orion that I have. Let's see if I can get it to. If I can show you guys. See, there's why the cross is born. You know. Because the cross is the pineal light, the image on the right there. And it's born in the house of bread, which is we are the interface between heaven and earth, or spirit and physical. The in is the out. What happened was anarchy. Oh. There's a cross, skull and crossbones. Yes, Orion. This is Orion's Nebula right here. And the trapezium open star cluster is right here, the brightest spot in the middle of this right here. You know, right there. And it's also the Mandelbrot set too. I mean, it's the geometry. Yeah, COVID anarchy, right? That's exactly. Yeah, that was weird. But I got one more thing I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to show you the trapezium thing and how it could be connected and right here. Okay, the house of bread is depicted right here. For the triangle or the pyramid is the base to the point, the fool to the knowing, to the gnosis, right? And how Ophiuchus never gets much acknowledgement. No, because it's the 13. It's the 13th, and that's the 13th. Focusing on this light will help you in your mind find stillness. Nam Ever wonder why in these ever wonder why these paintings or depictions of Jesus always has his hand up in the air like that? You ever wonder why he's always holding his heart? Because he's telling you, I am the light, I am the key, I am the gateway, I am the maker, I am the created. I am the creation of the creator that creates its own creation. Through the creation, the seed is born, which seed culminates to fruit. Fruit falls from the tree. The fruit falls from the tree. The seed is within thee. The seed gets buried. The seed gets born. The seed gets planted. The seed gets sown. Seed comes up. The seed turns to tree. Tree turns to stem. Stem turns to leaf. Leaf turns to bud. Bud turns to fruit. Fruit dies down and drops and forms another root. That root becomes a tree. That tree becomes a stem. The stem becomes a leaf. The stem becomes, or the leaf becomes a bud. The bud becomes a fruit, which dies and falls from the tree. That is what's within you and within me. The way to recreate the light is sown within. You know yourself, you know this. I tell you, it's all within. The cross is born through us, us who drive the bus. And this is an image painted by anybody know who painted this. I do believe it was Deborah Du Bois Tucker, right? And look at this Masonic symbol that everybody thinks is evil. It's not evil if you know what the true message is. The true message is find your center. The center is within. The center is the same that is in the galaxy, my friend. It's the same stillness that is in the middle of the junk, the motion that surrounds the stillness. Sally sold seashells by the seashore, right? Nice. Lion King said, we eat the deer, and he said, yes, but when we die, we go back to the source, to the ground, and they eat the grass from the ground, right? But it's more than that, sweetheart. It's, we, Sally, I'm stuck on that one by Yeats there. Sally sold seashells by the seashore. But everything in our world is a self-replicating divine thing. You know, the tree of life is a. It's not just a metaphoric blueprint. It is what it is because that's what. Okay, the crown of thorns on top of Jesus' head is there to signify, to represent. You know, the crown is the head, of course, but did you know that the Egyptians walked around with the tree on top of their heads in a parade? How much wood a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck couldn't chuck wood? uh, but and that was the Egyptians also had seed bulbs as their pharaonic headdress. You know what I mean? And the same with the Nemes headdress. The Nemes headdress is a depiction of, that's why the Sphinx has the Nemes headdress on it, because it's representation of the light in man. The Sphinx is. Because we are the interface between the spirit and the physical. We are the vessel, the physical vessel, the finite vessel that the infinite dwells. We are all of the ineffable oneness, undescribable. When they say Mary had a little lamb, are they talking about Jesus? Yes. Yes, they are. That's exactly what they're talking about. Because the lamb, in every esoteric or religious context, is the light. And the light slain is the sacrificial lamb. And the light crucified, or Jesus on the cross, is because we are crucified on the light. And when we accomplish the light at the end of our journey, the end of our ego journey, we graduate or are redeemed, and we recreate the only begotten Son of the light of the world. You know what I mean? Yes. You got a good book for us all. What's that? My email. Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. That is, all of it tells you all the symbols and meanings. Fascinating stuff. Okay. Yeah, and I think we already know what the symbols really truly mean deep down, right? The lamb is the lamp. Yeah, the light. The sacrificial lamb and blood, the water to wine ritual of the Bible, that when they were at when you turn water to wine, that's the same thing, because the wine is the blood, which is the spiritual essence, right? Within, yes, within the lamp within, the 7 candlesticks, the 7 lamps, all of that's within the 7 chakras, and everything manifests on the outer from the spiritual inner. That's the twixt forces, or the twixt entanglement, or spiritual essence finding its way out. And that's another thing I wanted to comment on. Lately, I've been having just the craziest synchronicities that it's obvious that if you really truly strive for gnosis and knowing, and you do it with a loving heart, roll a joint, twist it at the ends, light it up and take a hit, pass it to a friend. The lamb was the symbol for 600 years in the church until they changed it to the man on the cross. Very good. Very good. Yes. Yes, and that's why we count sheep when we're gonna fall asleep too, I think. The story of Robin Hood, when he shoots the arrow and the apple off the head, right, is a same thing. It's telling us, making the two one again, or hitting the target, or the apple speaking of apple, the apple is a perfect depiction of both a toroidal construct because of the shape of it. You know, it's got that the ba and the ka. Very good, Gerald. Yes, that is why Kabbalah is named Kabbalah, because it's the interface. You know, the manual for the interface. You know, Ka, Ba, and Allah. But hey, guys, I'm gonna go visit David Null, and I just wanted to do a quick what have you, and give you a shout, you know, and just to show you guys, you know, what's going on in my existence as of late. So I'm gonna go visit David Null, and Ka is the dark. Ka is the physical, and Ba, one must be incarnate in the Ka for the Ba to occur. Ba is the ineffable spirit that is within all of us. It is the light of the world. We can all achieve Anunnaki status, you know, sky fathers on earth, right? We can all achieve that. I know we can. And I'll show you guys. Which one is this? Yeah, I'm not even going to that. But Ba is the, yeah, and you could consider it as that, Gerald, where the Ka is the dark and the Ba is the light, because the light is the shining, or yeah, Ka could be considered the you know, the darkness or the death of the world, I suppose, because it's entropy. But Ka, you know, it could, because the light is considered spirit, so you could say that's Ba, you know, because Ba is not all. What do you mean? Not all, Eric? I just feel bad because I was gonna go visit David Null, so I should go do that. Maybe I'll start this up again later, guys. I love you. Oh, non-player characters. I gotcha. I'll be back. Maybe come over to David Null's and let's go give him a shout out. Right. I agree, Eric. Maybe. So go over to David Null's with me, guys, and maybe we'll do this in a minute.